Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, the people of South Africa, Africa and the diaspora. Thanks very much for tuning in to this week's edition of the EFF podcast. My name is Titus Tshungu, and today we're coming to you from a secret location, and I'm quite honored to be joined by the former presidential candidate in the 2024 Mozambican elections. That is none other than Mr. Venâncio Mondlane, President Venâncio Mondlane. So we're going to have a conversation with him about the developments in Mozambique as to what is happening in that country post the election. Thank you very much, President, for coming through, and we welcome you here on the EFF podcast.
Okay, thank you so much, Titus. And thank you very much for the leaders of EFF to invite me for this program that are very famous. And thank you so much.
So the Union for Total Independence in Angola held its 59th anniversary celebration, and you were part of the opposition leaders from across Africa who were invited to be part and parcel of that celebration. But unfortunately, you were denied entry into that particular country. Do you know why? And how do you feel generally about such treatment?
Yes, it is a very problematic diplomatic issue. Because in our delegation, in our midst, we had some former head of states, for example, Ian Kamo from Botswana, Ostranas from Colombia, senators from Kenya, member of parliaments, and what happened there is a problem of the regime. The regime of MPLA, it is similar with the regime of Frelimo in one country. They refused us to enter, and they didn't give us an explanation or fundamentals of his decision, and we were deported to Johannesburg, and we are here until now. We don't have any explanation of what's happening in Angola. But this is about your age. Even Mozambique, the violation of the human rights are in a very high level. And Angola is similar. Unfortunately, this is... I make a proposal for this day that we was refusing to be declared of the National Day of the Shame of the Angola.
Absolutely. And when you look at that predicament, we look at the issues of visas in Africa. Are you perhaps of the view that we should move towards a visa-free Africa where people can move freely across, the continent?
Yes, I agree. Because even in Europe, it's Schengen. I mean, it's the people move freely, and there was no reason to block us to move freely about the visa. Because if you want to avoid something like crime or something like that, the more sophisticated people are the criminals.
Absolutely.
Even with the visa is impossible to stop the movement of the criminal because of the visa. And Africa needs to improve our economic development, and you can increase it when you can move goods and people with more, how can I say, with first, okay? Yes, yeah, I agree. We agree.
Absolutely. So the EFF has received a pushback when it comes to an open border Africa. Are you of the same view that Africa should unite, Africa should have one economy, Africa should have one army, one currency, and so on and so forth?
Yes, I think that is a good idea. About the army, I'm not sure, but about the currency, yes, and to remove the borders, I agree. Maybe what is necessary to see before is the regulamentations of this agreement is important. Even in Southern Africa, for example, in Angola, the Mozambicans don't need visa to Angola, and we have fought immigration agreements between Mozambique and Angola. But the problem is, even with the regulamentations of these issues, the regime don't got perspectives. But in generally, I think that's a good idea. What we must do is to go deep in terms of regulamentations to avoid something like a Babylon. Yeah, but it's a good idea.
Absolutely. Perhaps let's dip into the history of Mozambique and how the liberation struggle has been abandoned in that country. The legacy thereof. Do you think Frelimo has made mockery of the ideals of the former liberation movement, the ideals of the likes of Samora Machel, who promised the people of Mozambique that the new government, the anti-colonial government, is going to fight and eliminate all phases of colonialism as well as underdevelopment. Perhaps if you can just give us a brief background of Mozambique and how the liberation struggle has been abandoned.
Yes, if I understood your question, I can say that now we have a new type of colonialism. Before now is this new type of colonialism have the differences it changed the color of the colonialism, but in fact now we are with this regime of the liberations movements, we are almost slaveries, because in terms of the indicators, economic and social indicators, we now, as some countries, we are worse than 15 years ago. And for example, Mozambique, in terms of the freedom of speech, in terms of education, health, and yeah, we are worse than before. What happens now is that kind of movements, the liberation movements, in the beginning, they have very precious ideas to the nation,
Triennial to the people.
yeah, but they become the values. They become the same values with the colonialism, the periods, and now, for example, Mozambique, we have got something like 30 years with democracy, but then every elections, we have got fraud elections, and the crisis, post-election crisis, and the problem is the same: fraud elections, the violations of the human rights, something like that. Even me, I suffered 3 attempts against my life. And this is the question. And I believe that we have got a new type of colonialism with the other color of the skin, but it's a new type of colonialism.
Do you think Frelimo still represents the interest of the people?
No, at all. know it. They represent his own interests. And what is, to me, Mozambique now is one of the most of countries old there in terms of oil, gas, diamonds, rubies, minerals. But we are among the 5 most poorest countries of the world. And this doesn't make sense. They've got everything to develop to assure a good life to the people of Mozambique, but the corruption is very high, the crime is very high, even with the drug traffic is very high. This is very now they have got a new values, and this new values is a values like a mafia. Yes, in short terms, I can say that they don't represent the interest of the people of me.
And of course, you ran as the presidential candidate ahead of the elections. You represented Frelimo, and you came second in that race. But that process was marred with a lot of hiccups or discontents, if I may put it that way. Frelimo, by hook or crook, they won the elections, but that has sparked protest demonstrations against the outcome of the elections in Mozambique. And you are one of those people who strongly believe that those elections were rigged. Perhaps do you have any evidence that perhaps can corroborate your claims, and perhaps give us a picture of how people of Mozambique have actually been robbed of democracy or freedom, if you like?
Okay, you're speaking about the evidence that to support that we win the election.
Yes.
Yes, we made both guys. Dinesh he was the coordinator of our lower teams that made it appeal to the Constitutional Council, and we submitted the evidence that we won the elections. And in that time, we challenged the Constitutional Council to instruct the Frelimo to submit the evidence. Frelimo never submit any evidence during 30 years. Yeah, but they say they win, and that we submit this appeal with more than 100 pages.
Okay.
And 300 kilos of evidence, and we submit to the Constitutional Council. And the decision of the Constitutional Council is not based in the law; it's a political decision. And even the observers of Africa, Europe, they agree with us that the Constitutional Council and our Electoral Commission, they make a political decision, not the decision based in the law. Yes, but they have our appeal there. They didn't answer our appeal. What they did is only to decide to give numbers to parties without, how can I say, they don't support the decision according with the law. Yes, it's the problem in Mozambique.
Yeah. Talk to us about your relationship with Frelimo.
Yes.
You were the presidential candidate in the election, and you represented Frelimo. Talk to us about that partnership.
Yeah. Now we are split it. It's okay. It does make sense. Yeah, now we are split it now. We are divorced, course. What happened is during the demonstrations, in the beginning, we was fighting, we was struggling to achieve the electoral truth,
Okay.
or electoral justice. During this time, the regime used the police to shoot people, and we had something like 400 people assassinated by the regime. And in that time, I think that if a party represents the will of the people, you must be in the side of the people. And what happened, Podemos, the leader of Podemos, he was very worried to take office in the parliament because he is putting on privilege, salary, something like that. And we said, this is not the time to speak about take office, about the positions in parliament. It's time to be in the side of the people. And they prefer to be in the side of the privileged. That's why we don't see other way and we split, we divorce.
Yeah, you don't see eye to eye anymore because they decided to sell out the struggle for the people.
And we heard that they received some money from Frelimo to take off. That's why they was very worried to be there very fast because there is a professor in Mozambique. He is the leader of one of the biggest organization of the women rights defense, and he submits it denounce in general attorney, and they say that the leader of Podemos received money for Frelimo. Something like is 200 million medicals, almost $3 million. Yeah. And we, even me, I was doubt about this, and take a phone and I call to the professor and say, are you sure they received this money? So I've got all the evidence here. And ironically, it doesn't make sense. Ironically, the Frelimo, they pay him and they send to me the evidence. Yeah. I said, I've got all the evidence. This guy received money to take office in parliament.
Okay.
Yeah. And then when we joined all of these things, we decide to split. Now we want to step up a new party. Yeah, that we'll call it Anamalala.
Anamalala. Okay, we're going to talk more about that because that also addresses, or it will give us a picture of how we move forward. But now I want to understand, why did you agree to take up that position to run for the election in partnership with Podemos? What was the struggle, or what did you want to achieve through that partnership?
With Podemos before
the split, yeah, before the split, yeah, ahead of the election. Why did
yes,
go?
Yeah, I think that we had a choice because we had another partnership in the coalition called the CAD, in Portuguese, Coligação Aliança Democrática, something. How can I translate to English? Something like Democratic Alliance of Mozambique. Okay, like this, because when they know that coalition was growing in the very high level, they deny this coalition to run in the elections. And we was very close to the campaign. We had something like 2 weeks to the campaign. Then we need, even if I were declared president of Mozambique, we need a bench in parliament to support the government.
Okay.
That's why we in that time, in 2 weeks, we make agreement with Podemos to have a support in parliament. Yeah.
Okay. So, looking at what transpired in the election, what do you think really happened? Because I understand there were changes after you lodged some complaints regarding the irregularities in the counting processes and all of that. What do you think really transpired during these elections? And Frelimo, as it is, it survives through victimization, harassment, violence, unleashing violence to innocent people of Mozambique, and general lawlessness. What could be the reason that Frelimo wants to hold or maintain its grip on power? What do you think could be the reason for that?
They want to maintain because they know how deep the crimes they commit. And they are afraid if you have got a new party or a new government,
You're going to arrest
they're going to be arrested.
Yeah.
They are afraid of that.
Yeah.
Because now they are very rich. They've got the money, a lot of money. Yeah, and it's impossible.
Ill-gotten money.
Yeah, they've got a lot of money. But now they are afraid of what can happen, injustice, when the regime change. This is the main reasons to maintain them in power. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Could you just give us a picture of how the protest started, the protest post the election? What really sparked that protest, and what was your role? Which position did you take in as far as protests flared up in Mozambique post elections?
Yes. First of all, let me explain you in one word what is the picture of the fraud election. Okay. Because in last 30 years, we claim a fraud election in Mozambique, but the problem is when the people vote and we begin to count the votes, there is different stages until the Constitutional Council announce the final results. And sometimes it can take 1 month, 2 months. In these different stages, they change the primary results. And this is the problem. The time that we took until the announcement of the final results. And while taken, and before the demonstrations, my particular lawyer and the national representative, mandatory national representative, called Elvino Diaz, very courage man, showing as a lawyer, he began to collect evidence to prove the fraud elections. In October, they know that Elvino Diaz is very close to disclose how the fraud election happened. And they prefer to shoot him. They keep him with the 25 bullets in his body. This is the first day that we decide to begin the protests. And 2 days after, when I invite the international and national journalists to deliver an interview to explain about this assassination, the police shoot me and the international journalists with tear guns. And they have got videos that are viral. They shoot us on that day. And many leaders of the human rights organization advised me to leave the country because they knew that the government was preparing people to assassinate me. And that day I decided to go abroad, and I used the border of Rasandersia and to cross the border into to South Africa. I stay in Southern Johannesburg something like 2 weeks. And
That is in October.
Yeah. Then in November, I went to Germany and then to Dubai, then to Qatar. Then I returned to Africa and Nigeria. I returned to Qatar again, and 9th of January, I decide to return to my country without any guarantees. It's correct? Without any guarantees, because I sent many letters to embassies, to the UA, SADC. They didn't answer me to assure me to return to my country safely. And I returned to Mozambique on my own risk. That's why when I arrive in Mozambique, 9th of January, there is a big crowd in the airport waiting for me. And the police shoot the people, tear gas. They use violence against.
You make an announcement that you're coming back?
Yes, I make an announcement. And they kill 3 people, this 3 person that day. But during the time that I was in exile, was the time that the demonstration was very, very high. And that time I used my telephone to give the instructions to the people
While you were in exile.
Even during 3 months, use a cell phone.
Yeah.
Yes.
To give marching orders.
Yeah, to instruct people what to do every day. This is, I think, that is the first historical example that someone can guide people to make demonstration during 3 months using a cell phone in exile. Yes. But even me, I was surprised with this because I didn't believe that can be possible, but it happens.
By the grace of God.
By the grace of God. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm a man of faith. Yeah, that's why I really believe in that. You know, other things. That's why the regime, they're trying to kill me because they know that they don't have a social support now in Mozambique. And when I returned to Mozambique, they said, and now everything is over. Venâncio is now in Mozambique, and the people are tired. But I began to make visit some provinces and to visit people that was injured, with people that was murdered. And that case, when I arrived in the airport, I was received by a big crowd. Sometimes 40,000 of people receiving me in the airport without announcement. Because when I arrive in the province, I don't make any announcement. But we have got many videos there. The 40,000 people are receiving me there, take me to the airport. This is the problem with the regime, because they don't have a social support. Yeah. And the problem of the regime now, is legitimacy. Yeah, this is the problem. They don't have legitimacy, and they can see that the people, the eyes of the people are open now. The people say that now is the era of the end of the slavery. That's all right.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. One of the weakness of our struggle is the language, because our reports, our live broadcasts, we make it in Portuguese, and there is many people that don't understand the language, and now we are trying to change it. We must make translation of all our videos, our reports, to achieve other countries that speak English. But now, when we spoke about the violence, some medias, I remember the people of Sky News.
Sky.
It says, Venâncio, maybe you are making propaganda. We didn't see people be assassinated, something like that. And that day, I decide to collect the data about this violence and make the first report. And in my organization, in our political project, I have coordinators, representatives in all the province, districts, and when the regime see that they don't have a social support, even in the court, they try to manipulate the court, but they know that they was defeated. They begin to use a high violence against my organization. They kidnap my representative, my coordinators. They kill them. They begin to use even masquerades, putting people after they kill, they put in masquerade. And when I explain it to the Skyers, they say, you are making propaganda. And I begin to collect the data. I make a trip to a province of the center of Mozambique called Tete. There is an area called Makanga. And I was there. The guy is not here. We record the masquerade with the people inside the masquerade, including the children. In the Makanga, we find 8 people, a masquerade that we record with videos with 8 people inside, and including 2 children, one of them 14 years old, and another one 16 years old. Then I make interview to the families of the people that was in masquerade, and we translate it, and we show to the world. Then the people of Skyes, they call me and say, yeah, you are right. We see the images, the situation are very bad. And now they continue to kidnap my people, to assassinate my people. And now we have got a report, the last report. In my organization, we have got something 400 people that was victim of the violence of the police, including 45 people that was assassinated by the police, shooted by the police. And this report we submit to the General Attorney and the Minister of the Interior. That's the piece. That's the Minister of the Police. Yeah, we have got 2 reports that we submit. We don't have answer. Yeah, this is what happened in Mozambique. Now because what we do now, we decide, when I return from the exile, I decide to establish a shadow government to monitor the government and to set up the alternatives, public policies. And this is our target. And they understood that we surrender, that we are weak. That's why now they are persecuting us, kill our people, because they know that we stop to instruct people to continue with demonstrations. And now this is the situation now. And now our target is to show the world that now we are in the situation are very bad in Mozambique. Yes. That's why I accept this to make this interview here in this podcast. Even with my poor English, that will make to use every effort to deliver this message.
No, don't feel ashamed, Mr. President, because this is the language of the oppressor. So we don't have to glorify it anyway. In fact, we're doing them a favor. We should be.
I have no idea. Your proposal is to use Swahili.
Swahili as our language. Yes, absolutely. So now, let's go back to the nature of the protests and its ramifications on the ground. Quite recently, your convoy came under attack and lives were lost as well. What is the current status quo in Mozambique? Are the protests continuing? And what is the message, or what has been the instruction to the protesters? Is the protest still continuing? And what is your take on the recent attack on your convoy?
Yes. Yeah, this is something that is very difficult to understand, because when we do the marches with the people, when the police are upset, everything is going well. Without injuries, everything's okay. But when the police are close, we have got many problems. People assassinated, people injured, and then I don't understand. 5th of March, I was celebrating with people, singing, dancing, and the crowds begin to grow. People are joined us, and they see in our live broadcasts, and they see the crowd is growing, and they try to stop us. They send police there, and the police begin to shoot us. Even in my car, they shoot live bullets against me. One of my guys of communication, they was injured in the head with one bullet, but he's alive. And I don't understand what happened with these guys. And now they believe that they can solve the problem of the Mozambique using guns, using weapons. And they don't want to go to the table of dialogue. They only use guns. But now our message now is what with this project of the shadow government, we make proposals of the public policies, how to solve the problems of the people with the specific proposals. This is our focus now. This is our target now. And we don't instruct people to continue to make demonstration. But what happened now, due to the violence of the regime, the people begin to make some demonstrations even without my instructions. And now the people block the roads. And this is affecting very this is affecting the economy. That's why the regime are very angry because the people now are using a new strategy, very intelligent strategy. They don't fight directly with the policy, but they block the roads. And the economy now in Mozambique are in very bad stage due to this new strategy of the protesters. But we didn't give any instruction to do such things. But the people are doing this like, how can I say, a response of the violence of the police against the people. They are trying to defend themselves using this strategy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there is a political dialogue that has been proposed by the sitting president of Mozambique, Daniel Chapo, but it has excluded opposition leaders like yourself. And I guess Prudevo could have been invited because they've already sold out. Yes. But now, how do you feel generally about the exclusion, your exclusion, or you being excluded from the conversation that talks about the political crisis post the election?
Yes, what happened, they know that I won the election, and they know that I have a very strong support among the midst of the people. That's why they prefer to split me and to make agreements with the four parties, but they know that these four parties are very weak in the midst of the people. And they are.
And which are these parties, by the way?
Frelimo, MDM, Podemos. And
here we go.
Yes, Podemos and Nova Democracia is a new democracy. It's four parties. But these four parties now, they don't have. They are very weak in terms of the social support. That's why Frelimo prefer to make agreement with them. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And when we talk about the dialogue regarding the election outcome, in your view, which direction should Mozambique take at this point in time, considering the social, political, and economic structure of Mozambique?
Yes, what I said about the dialogue, during this 30 years of the democracy in Mozambique, we had many agreements. But what happened is that the agreements are focused on how to share the position in parliament, in government, and privilege, something like this. And I felt that the people was, how can I say, they don't consider the will of the people. They don't include in these agreements what the people claim. And I say, I don't want to be a part of that paradigm of agreements. And I get then my opinion. And I say that we must know what the people claim and include what the people claim in the agreement. If you do that, I can sign that agreement. No problem. For example, now we know that the violence is very high. We must include in the agreement to stop every type of violence against the people. We have got many people in prison. We have got something like 5,000 people in prison related with demonstrations. I say that we must release these people, because to make demonstration is not a crime. It is a right. It is a constitutional right. You must release these people. Other thing that we have got many people injured. That's correct. Jailed. No, not in jail. Injured. People that was. It's not in jail. It was injured.
Injured. Oh, okay.
Injured.
Not injured. Okay.
Yes, we've got the thousands of people without medical aid. We must establish a budget to help these people and other proposals. But summarizing is proposals that are related with the claims of the people is to include what the people want in the agreement. During 30 years, they never do something like this. This is the problem. That's why they don't want me there. Because they don't want to include what the people are claiming. This is the problem. Yeah. Okay. They want to share positions. They want to share salaries. They want to share benefits. Yes.
Do you feel used by Podemo?
No, I can't say such things. It is agreement, and I signed the agreement. I must pay the price of the markets. I can't. They betrayed us, but I think they betrayed. In fact, they betrayed the people, not us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And why do you strongly believe that you have won the elections already, or you are outlining the fact that you have the social support, but considering the numerical support is contradictory, in fact, it's contrary, but you strongly believe that these are doctored numbers, these are numbers that were rigged. What makes you strongly believe that you have won the elections? Do you have any evidence of people who have voted for example, Podemo, or to support you as the presidential candidate, just to give us the picture of how that victory looked like or looks like?
Yes, I had the experience of to make a standard of to count votes with a parallel structure. It makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yes, we establish a cabinet with machines that we can count votes online.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2023, in the municipal elections, I used this strategy, and we won the elections in Maputo City, in capital. Mm-hmm. And I took this experience to the general elections, presidential elections, and we count the votes, and to 48 hours we had the real results that we get 53%. And these results, until now, we have got this evidence in papers, and we got this evidence because we scanned all the evidence and we put in our computer. After this, the stage, following stage, the Frelimo begins to change the evidence. They manipulate this. They don't use the real results. They use, how can I say? But we have got evidence on paper, on computers. We have got the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What was your ideal aspirations in line with obviously the aspirations of the people of Mozambique? What did you want to achieve for the people of Mozambique? Mm-hmm. What kind of a Mozambique would you want to live in?
Yes. Yeah, this is very good questions. Very interesting. Okay. First, we must reform the state. To reform the state, what I want to say, we want the rule of law to guide our country, and we want to assure that the judge, the parliament are independent, the government are independent, and the judge are independent. And we don't want that a party that are in charge can manipulate the justice, can manipulate the parliament.
There must be separation of powers.
Separation of power. We must assure it is the justice, separation of power, and to end the partition. It's partition of the state. You wanted the partition of the state. Then we have an idea of to reform the tax policy, because we have got a lot of mineral resources, natural resources. What we want? The taxes to develop people on the ground, not to feed the corruption. And I think if we assure these two pillars, it's easy to develop other sectors of the life. Like, for example, we want a free education to the people. And what we don't need to pay to education, because we have got a lot of natural resources. Pay the health. We want free health to the people. Yeah, this the Mozambique that I dream. And I believe that in the period of 10 years, we can become one of the most powerful countries of Africa and the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What do you think makes Frelimo to do things that are not in the interest of the people? Because this is the former liberation movement,
Yes.
which has made promises to the people of Mozambique, and its former leaders hoped that this new government led by Frelimo will usher in economic emancipation to some extent, but this happens to be contrary, and their ideals seem to be equally betrayed. What do you think are the drivers behind this? Is it because the change of leadership? Was it the same type of Frelimo under the former president Nyusi?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this guy, they corrupted themselves, and they changed the values. All of this, because the money, they are being guided by the money. You know, the Bible say that the money, the love. When you love money, you are in the right way to go to hell.
The love of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah, and they are corrupted, and then they are being guided by the money. But other things, they are supported by the international community. Yes, because without
endorsed.
Without this support, now Frelimo surely there was decade. It's decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And international, talking about international community endorsing Frelimo.
Yes.
International observers also flag some irregularities from the previous polls, but these were, clearly snapped.
Yeah, for example, even some MPs in Europe, they agree with us and I saw some speech, mainly in the Portugal Parliament, and they said that doesn't make sense. The observers of the European Union, they only make a report, but didn't give recommendations that can put Frelimo in that situation. Because the situation of Mozambique is similar to the situation of Venezuela. Yes, absolutely. But in Venezuela, the position was very different from the position of Mozambique. In Mozambique, I can say that they legitimate Frelimo, but in Venezuela, until now they don't accept Maduro. But these situations are very similar. And I can say that in Mozambique is worse than Venezuela, because in Venezuela, you don't have the kind or the level of the violence that we registered in Mozambique. It means that they are not consider these two countries with the same tools. Yes, they are legitimate that kind of regimes that oppress the people, and they can assure that they can take our resources, but with in partnership with this kind of regime. Yes.
What sort of action do you expect from the international community? South Africa is also part of the SADC countries. It's got diplomatic relationships with the Republic of Mozambique. What sort of action do you think South Africa should be playing alongside other, international community?
Yes. Yes. Unfortunately, in Africa, these two organizations, SADC, UA, they are not relevant for that kind of conflicts. Even in the DRC, you can see that we are very weak. Our organization are very weak, and our organization is they function like a club of friends that not prioritizing the wills and the benefits from the people. They defend themselves. That's why even South Africa, I think that they had a big opportunity to play a very important role, to be a country to mobilize other countries to make mediations of the conflict in Mozambique. But South Africa didn't do that. South Africa always were with the problems of the border of San Garcia to assure that the minerals that are crossing our border to the port of Maputo can cross without problems. Only this. But the problems of the people, the violation of human rights, we didn't see anything from the government of South Africa. Yes, it's a problem.
Absolutely, it is. And are you planning to launch another bid to overturn the election outcome? What's next? What's the way forward? What do you think should be the lasting solution regarding the conflict in Mozambique?
Contest these results. Right?
Yes, what is the way forward? What do you think should be the way forward? Going forward, what must happen? Where are we now?
There is some strategies that I can share now.
Okay.
But now we are focused to set up our party, okay, to work with this shadow government, to continue to monitor the government activities, and to continue to defend our people, poor people. We have got email that we receive the names of the people, and we go there with our lawyers to defend the people. Yeah, we will continue to do this. Yeah, officially, this is our target.
Okay. So, do you think Frelimo will be able to see the next 5 years?
No, at all. Even this mandate is correct.
Yes.
Yeah, they actually that they will not end this mandate. I've got a lot. I think that in the middle they will.
They might take over.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
they will renounce. Yes.
Yeah. And how are you planning to do that? Because you've already pointed out issues that had to do with judicial capture. The judiciary still is to be captured. How are you planning on doing that? Are we perhaps looking something like a coup?
Do you know what happened? What they did is only to open the eyes of the people. This is what it is. Maybe I can say it was my legacy, to open the eyes. And now I think that the people are capable to use their own strategies to continue with the protests. And we can see now every day in different points of Mozambique, there is a new type of protest, and the government are not able to solve this. And I think that in the next years, this situation will be worse. And Frelimo is not in conditions to continue with this mandate.
So, to the people of Mozambique who are grappling with unemployment, who are grappling with poverty and inequality, what is your message of hope to them?
The problem here is the level of corruption of the regime. Even if the regime suddenly decide to change their mindset, is impossible now to make something that intangible. The only way is to change the regime and to finish the corruption. The problem is corruption that we have in Mozambique is corruption. But if we manage our exploitation of the natural resource with the transparency, with the integrity people, we can solve many problems of poverty, the employment, something like that. Mm-hmm. And we are able to be the next government and to give the people this new era, this new hope, this new dream.
Yes. Thank you very much, President Venâncio Mondlane.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Please be safe. Please be safe. We'll put you in our prayers. Amen. And everyone who's protecting you, may they continue doing their great work. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to understand what is happening in the Republic of Mozambique.
Amen.
Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning into this week's edition of the EFF podcast. We've come to the end of the show. My name is Titus Tshungu, because I'm saying that's what I can tell you. Meet again. Good going it. Kanimam.
Kanimam.